Over same-sex marriage have been thrown into the spotlight in the countdown to Saturday's election. Malcolm Turnbull says he hopes for a public vote this year. But Bill Shorten, who once preferred a plebiscite, says MPs should decide.
Off the train in Hurstville, ambushed over his election platform.
Why should we believe anything that you have to say?
Everything I've said in this election is absolutely straight.
I don't believe you, sir. Have a lovely day.
And it did get better.
Come round this way, so it's not too glary.
Malcolm and Lucy swamped.
Thank you, great to see you. How do you do?
Hand in hand, arm in arm. Selfies, smiles and handshakes before doting grandparents caught up with family. Caught up too in the same-sex marriage plebiscite.
In our party, it will be a free vote. If the plebiscite is passed, there is nothing more certain than that the legislation will pass through the parliament. It will sail through the parliament.
Malcolm Turnbull hopes to have the matter settled by the end of the year as senior ministers remain evasive about their own votes.
I will respect the outcome of the plebiscite.
What I will do is respect the outcome of the plebiscite.
Bill Shorten once preferred a plebiscite.
I would rather that the people of Australia could make their view clear on this than leaving this issue to 150 people.
But now says the 150 MPs should decide.
Why should all Australians have to pay a price just because Mr Turnbull did a deal to appease the right wing of his party?
Mr Shorten was also in Sydney's West, as at the pointy end of the campaign, they sharpened their messages.
It's a very clear choice. A strong coalition majority government with a clear economic plan versus the high deficit, high debt, high taxes and all of the disarray of a Labor-Greens independent alliance.
For Labor, it's Medicare.
There is real fear that Medicare will be further undermined and dismantled piece by piece, brick by brick.
Abbott was hopeless, Turnbull's been worse, let's get rid of him on Saturday.
Lane Calcart, 9 News.
And the Nine Network's political editor, Laurie Oakes, joins me from Canberra. Laurie, it's getting close now. What are you picking up?
Well, Pete, at the end of a long campaign, Malcolm Turnbull's getting cranky, slapping down journalists who ask questions he doesn't like. One reporter today had the temerity to ask a question that was a whole 2 sentences long. "Thank you for your address," the Prime Minister said sarcastically. Another journo asked about Australia becoming a republic. She was from the ABC, so Mr Turnbull sneeringly compared her to people who, quote, don't have secure jobs with a government agency. Now, it's hard to see why the Prime Minister's in a bad mood. 3 sleeps from polling day, the coalition's quietly confident, while Labor MPs have a hangdog look. Numbers people on both sides talk about Labor picking up 10 seats max, more likely less than that, a long way short of the 19 it needs for victory. The election's not over till it's over, of course, and the 7 or 8% of voters who haven't made up their minds yet could still make a difference. But Labor leader Bill Shorten is having a stinker of a final week, starting with Sunday's costings, showing he'd drive the budget $16.5 billion further into the red than the coalition in the next 4 years. And there were other damaging revelations hidden in those costings, including that a Labor government would not fully restore health funds cut by the coalition, despite all the noise he's been making about the issue. Coalition strategists believe that Mr Turnbull is scoring well now by relentlessly hammering his economic plan. Come to think of it, that's probably why the PM got his knickers in a knot today. The journalists he took a whack at were asking about the Republic and same-sex marriage, not economic matters, and he didn't like them pushing him off message. But it's his own MPs who are doing that with divisions over same-sex marriage plebiscites, Pete.